It was not a silent night.
That's a scary place to be on the other side of the manger. When I look on the other side of this manger, I see a frightened young teenage mother, a brand new young father who had just gone through the Galilean equivalent of a shotgun marriage. And you know what I don't see? Congratulatory relatives. No doting grandmother, no proud grandfather. I can tell you that when this proud grandfather got that 2 a.m. call that his first grandchild was about to make her grand entrance into the world, we got up and drove that 70 miles to the hospital. Of course, we had a few more horsepower than a donkey, but we'd have walked if we'd had to. But the picture I get of this young couple is a lonely and frightening one that will soon see them fleeing to Egypt for their own lives and for the life of baby Jesus. You see, it's bad enough when your closest friends and family think that you let passion short-circuit the engagement, but add to that they think you're lying to them with this preposterous story of a divine pregnancy. How could God ask that of anyone? You might be finding that you are on the other side of the manger, that God is asking you to do way more than you can do. Entrust was born to train and support Christian leaders who find themselves on the other side of the manger, who served in impossible circumstances in communist countries where every time they shared the good news, they put their families, their own lives in jeopardy. Still today, we find ourselves working in parts of the world where God is moving and calling people to Himself to do impossible things, in settings where their own lives and livelihoods are in jeopardy because of their stand for Christ. Are you or someone you love feeling like you're on the other side of the manger? Like God is calling you to do the impossible? Well, this is the message that we tell Christian leaders all over the world as we give them the tools that they need for leadership in biblical ministry. What God has called you to do, He will enable you to do. That's what kept this young couple going. That's what keeps us going, even today. As the prophet had foretold, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. At Entrust, we want to thank you for partnering with us as we take this message of hope all over the world. And we want to remind you that God makes what seems impossible possible on the other side of the manger.
It was not a silent night on the streets of David's town.